Hi, Peter Boolkah here, and welcome to today's edition of the Transition Guy. Now, joining me today in the studio is Michael Teape, who is the co-founder of Teape Training International, and actually a fellow soul from Essex. Welcome, Michael. Well,
Thank you,
a fellow
Peter.
soul from Essex who's relocated to the US.
Yes, it took a while, but I am in New England on the coastline there between Boston and New York. It's a great place to be.
Lovely. A different place to be, that's for sure. So today I want to look at, one of your specialist topics happens to be time and productivity. And actually what I found quite fascinating is that if you take the last 18 months, we've seen so much change imposed upon us due to COVID, whether it's been remote working, blended working, a heap load of stuff, technology innovations. And I think there's a lot of confusion out there where we're still trying to operate on pre-COVID rules in a current shift into post-COVID economy. What's your take on that?
I think that people have either struggled or thrived during this time, when all the people that I talk to and the clients I'm working with, well, the clients I'm working with COVID tend to be the ones that are thinking well, operating well, and getting a lot done during these virtual times. But it's still a struggle, Peter. They've now got to maintain work, but the boundaries of family life, what we need to get done personally, actually going and getting COVID tests. Yeah, I know I'm probably talking about last year when most people did that in America. Now it's not so much, but that takes time. That takes time out of your day. And it definitely takes your mind away from focusing on what needs to be done. So it's a very complicated time, I think.
No, I totally agree with that. And I used to remember that managers used to take some kind of comfort in the fact that they'll see people come into the building, that keep an eye on their watch, what time they sat down, and they would judge a person's productivity very often by the number of hours they worked and how short a lunch break they took.
Yes, and working at your desk. I used to work in London, and you're like, well, where's my manager? What can they see me doing? It's just so unproductive. It's got nothing to do with the mindset of productivity and getting more done in the week. It's the dead opposite. You've got no control, and you're focusing on physically showing up, not actually doing anything. So you're preoccupied. You can't focus on thinking through a problem.
Right.
Making sure things are done right the first time. And meetings, don't get me started. Meetings are just meetings for meeting's sake. We need to get together. We need to have an update meeting, and it could go on for hours. No one's really paying attention. They're waiting for their bit to speak, and they're trying to catch up on work. And when they say catching up on work, they're talking about emails. They're not actually talking about productive work.
So how do you help people make that transition? Because we're in a transitionary stage at the moment. How do you help people do that?
Well, first of all, it's very easy to jump in and say, oh, you should do this. Here's the latest tool. Here's the latest. It's going to work. It's going to solve all your problems. But that's a very tactical approach. It's not going to help anyone long term. So when I talk about it, I talk about having the right mindsets, not just sets. So you've got to get that right first. Then it's looking around for what tools work for me, and then making it routine, making it rituals, call them rituals, things that you do every day that work for you, not against you. So you've got to start with mindset. I think that's the heaviest part of it. And I'm gonna say growth mindset. I know people think that's a buzzword. It's not. It's a way of thinking. And being able to believe that your abilities can be developed through practice and hard work. Okay, what I know now is not what I'm going to know at the end of the week. Who knows? I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to get better at something, but they have positive intent and they believe that the talents can be developed. it's got a lot less to do with day-to-day work and more about how you approach it. And they're resilient, they're curious. Then, oh, that's interesting. Why is like this? Why did it not work this time? What really needs to be fixed? Do we have to do this? So they're exploring it in a way that solves, you could attend millions of meetings and never get to that point in a normal old-fashioned office environment. So they're flexible, they're open. And the opposite of that, I often say, is that fixed mindset. Yeah. And a fixed mindset is one, well, I did my best, didn't work. Or, well, I was waiting for my boss to get back to me. Oh, sorry, I haven't got the information yet. That is not a proactive mindset. That's a reactive mindset. And that's not going to control how much time you spend on your work. I mean, I really don't think you need to spend 8-10 hours a day working at your work. I think if you've done it better, you can condense that into much more productive, thoughtful time. So there's a growth mindset that's all involved there. And the other two mindsets are more tactical that go with it. So it's a group of 3: growth mindset, routine mindset, and control mindset. So the way I look at it is, the routine is your life is a bunch of routines anyway. Right. You may as well look at, what do you do? How are you making your cup of coffee? How are you making your fake commute to work virtually?
I think that's the bit that people have struggled with. You know that, Mike. I think that's a bit that people have struggled with, is they haven't adjusted either their identity and their routines.
No, they haven't. They haven't controlled it, which is the third mindset. So the routine, my advice is, look at what routines you're doing and be honest. What's helping. So if you're getting up later in the morning, you're spending a bit more time with the kids, you spend more time getting your coffee. Be honest with yourself. Is that going to help you be productive at 9 a.m. or whenever it is, 9, 8, 8:30, 8:45, doesn't matter what time it is. Is that going to help you be actually working on something at 9? No, it needs to be a little bit earlier. And we've lost that because we don't get up in the morning to go and get the train. You'd have to get up earlier. You're more awake. So, we do have to watch for that creep. Your routines, you either control your routines or your routines control you.
And I think that's interesting, because
that's what people are struggling with. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say a lot of people have actually allowed the routine to control them, and probably without realizing have become victims of non-productive routines. Yeah.
And there's 2 killers for you for that, non-productive routines. And one is, you're more worried about being seen or present virtually, maybe because your manager, I've got to be online on my instant messenger, or I really should talk to someone today. And you might be overdoing that. You need to think, well, do I need to speak to them today? And would that 10-20 minutes be better spent working on my project, or streamlining my speech, or looking at how I'm going to market my product if you're an entrepreneur? So that's the first bit, is there's a consciousness around feeling that, oh, people need to know where I am. And the second is emails. The emails are still coming in thick and fast. We've got to manage those on top of your meetings, whatever tool, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, doesn't matter what it is. And now we've got that. So you watch out for emails, because they're nothing but a convenient place for other people to store their priorities on you. So you're not in control. I was going to say that.
I know I've seen a lot of people sort of tell me that actually the volume of emails has gone up massively in remote working situations. To the point where emails are just coming in all the time.
Yeah, it's just, if they feel that because I'm not going to see you, I should send you an email about my thought. Yeah, and that's probably one of the worst ways to get someone's attention. Yeah, so if you want to be productive and don't want to be waiting on people's time, don't send them an email if it's urgent. Give them a quick instant message, a text. People are using text a lot more now. Right. Because you can get people's attention, but you've got to use it well. You can't just be texting every question you've got for someone. it's got to be strategic. Look, I really do need this today. That's why I'm reaching out, and you'll get more of a quick response. And there's less stress around that as well, rather than, oh, I sent an email and I'm waiting for an email to come back. Again, that's not growth mindset. But it is if you open up your emails all the time, it's a bit like your social media of choice, like Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I mean, the younger generations are using so many different systems that I'm not even aware of, but it keeps coming up on your phone. It keeps interrupting your flow. So email is a killer. We need to control that. And first, I'm not even going to open email before I've looked at what I want to do today. What's the 5 things I must do today? I need to get at least one of those off before I open my email. And I can't tell you, everybody's needed coaching pre-pandemic, and they're going to need it post anyway. They always do. It's like, you don't have to reply to everything. Let's focus on, well, what do I need to be successful? How can I prioritize that?
How do you help people get over that mindset that they have to be on demand and ready for their manager whenever their manager wants them?
Well, when I coach people individually, I challenge them. It's a very frank, direct conversation. It's like, look, you'll see. So you're replying to, I had one person who was replying to every CC'd email, and they were a senior leader in technology for a large organization. And they were very proud of it as well. They were, oh yes, I always make sure that my team knows exactly how I feel about all of these projects. So I'll stay up. This person was staying up past midnight checking. I mean, you may think that's extreme, but a lot of people are doing that. Oh, this person was replying to CC, and I was like, stop. Yeah. Do you think, is it your job to do that, or who's it being written to? It's their job to give you an update, reverse it. And they felt very uncomfortable doing it. So I challenged them. And I say, look, I challenge you to not reply to any CCs in the next 24 hours and see what happens. Yeah. And they literally thought the world would end. So we come back and they say, nothing went wrong. I said, now do it for a week. I was like, I didn't congratulate them. I said, now let's do it for a week. Yeah, it's an addiction. We got to take ourselves off of that drip of email. And the best way to do it is the smartphone. Whatever your technology phone is, it has to be further than your arm's reach away from you at the desk right now. So my phone is way over there. I can see it at a distance. So if a message pops up, I can see, is that urgent or not? No. Boom. So I've created a routine. I've created a routine that helps me. Otherwise, I will be like checking my updates all day long. So that's my recommendation. You've got to put your put your smartphone to one side, out of arm's reach. So when it goes off, you'd physically have to move to get it. That's creating a roadblock for you. And your routine is that absolutely urgent? No. Okay. Is it something I need to do later? Write a quick note for yourself. And that's, there's a lot of things you can do about email. That's the biggest thing. And you've got to plan your day. You need a planner, a productivity planner for the day. I have one that I would recommend. I don't know if that's helpful and it's not just it's for entrepreneurs, business leaders, middle managers. It works across the board.
If they wanted to get hold of that planner, how would they do that?
Well, you can get it. It's actually Brendan Burchard's productivity, one-page productivity planner. So it's well known. He does have a YouTube out there. So you could put one-page productivity planner into Google, or you can look up Brendan Burchard. It's right there, and he takes you through the steps on it. But it does make you think, what are the projects? He calls them projects I'm working on today.
Right.
Who do I need to get in touch with? And who am I waiting on? And then lastly, what's the top things that I must do today, regardless of what? And you do those priorities first. Check who have you heard from, who have you not heard from, and then take a big chunk of a project. And if you're focused on that, you're not focused on the noise of email, right? You're not focused on interruptions. And you can do, it's amazing, isn't it? And when you're on your game, you can do in 20 minutes what would take you more than an hour to do in a day. Right.
And I suppose that's the ultimate. You're on your game. You're not on anybody else's game.
That's right. You've got to be the more control. And that's that last mindset. I talked about growth mindset and routine mindset a little bit. and being careful the routine mindsets don't sabotage you. That's a little bit all the tips I've been giving you, but it all comes back to having a control mindset. I can control my time. Yeah. If you don't feel that way, or you feel you've got to work at it, you go, okay, well, what part am I controlling? Start from there and then work on, well, what could I control next? So if you're waiting to hear back from other people, or you think that, well, this is not, I'm going to do all this work and it's not going to be fruitful, who can you go and talk to try and control that narrative? Don't sit waiting for things to happen to you. Get involved. And it's what's his name? It's that towards state. You're creating towards an interested, a curious state. Yeah. But if you wait around for everyone else, doubt pushes you into an away state. So, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't wait for that. I don't want to upset that person. Oh, I really should. They're the boss. And that creates procrastination around your work, and you become reactive. You need to be doing things that reaching out, talking to people, thinking what can I control, and then intentionally looking to expand your focus or area of control. So that's the 3 mindsets.
Brilliant. So what would be your top tip for entrepreneurs listening in today on where do they start?
I think you got to start on the mindset. That's the growth mindset, and being curious about your day. Take a reflective stop. Get one of these mindset planners out. Yeah. And you need to be clear on there are a number of different levels, but I think that make clarity on know your why. What are you doing today? I'm only going to work on things that's going to move my business forward. Yeah. What are those? What are those priorities? Break down. We haven't got time to talk about it today, but there's I have a couple of tools that help you break that down and think, okay, what's the 5 things I need to do, and focusing on that. And you've got to manage your energy. Most entrepreneurs know this. They're reading all the books on it. Game Changer is one on how do I produce more energy. There's a lot of it in America, but you've got to, did I manage my focus and control during the time I was working on the business? Or was I, did I really need to actually go and take a break?
Yeah.
Yeah. Work it. You got to, I hate this term, work smarter, not harder, but work in small bursts to keep your energy for longer. And my biggest tip is this: drink an awful lot of water throughout the day. I mean, a lot. 8 cups. It just keeps the energy flowing. Yeah.
There's a big thing. You're talking about energy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big thing. Be clear what you're doing, the energy, and work. Did I work on the things that mattered most today? So you're reminding yourself, going back to what your priorities are. Start with those 3, and you'll be amazed. You'll be ticking off that to-do list faster than you've ever done before.
And if people want to connect with you, what's the best way to sort of connect with you and interact with you?
Well, if you want to find out more about me, if you just put Teape, Teape, into the Google, I'm the first thing that comes up. Lucky enough, I've got a rare last name. If you want to know what the business side is doing, it's Teape Training International.com is our website. And the best place to start connecting with me is LinkedIn. So look me up on LinkedIn. Let's get connected. Let's have a talk. I've even got 7 best facilitation tips on how to control meetings on virtual presence available for you as well. So you can sign up for that through my LinkedIn on my website.
Brilliant. Thank you. And if anything's resonated with you today and you want a bit more information, head over to Boolkah.com and get in touch. Michael, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, Peter. It's nice being talking to someone from back home. So I appreciate that.
Likewise. And most importantly, everyone, remember, failing to learn is learning to fail. So please stay safe. And Michael, really appreciate your time today. Thank you.